welcome everyone. I am James, the Ascension Coach. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I definitely want you to comment, like, and subscribe. I want to talk tonight about choosing soul, because in choosing soul, that would immediately put you into the few. That would immediately put you into the place of the chosen ones. Because when you look out into the world, while there's many who are awakening, many who are on their spiritual journey, many who are on the ascended path, what we see mostly is everything that is not so. And the antithesis of soul is ego. And I want to share with you by the end of this session what it means to choose soul. What are the tangible things that you can look at and go, I'm now in a place of choosing soul. But before I go into that, I want to talk about who you really are. Because oftentimes we have this distorted idea of who we are. I think there was someone who says, I think, therefore I am. And really, thought distinguishes who you are not. You are not your thoughts. You are not your mind. You are not your body. Wait, James, what do you mean I'm not my thoughts and I'm not my body? I want to ask you to do this, or ask you to ask yourself this. Can you be aware of your thoughts? And most of us are aware that we are aware of our thoughts. The next question I would ask you is, can you be aware or conscious of your body? Can you be aware that you have a body? So if I believe that I am my mind, or if I believe that I'm my body, then who is the part of you that is aware that you have a mind and that you have a body? Because there can't be two of you. And even there are some religious books that talk about taking every thought captive, meaning there's the thought, and then there's the one that takes it captive. That means you have a mind. That means you have a body. And just the simple fact that you can be aware of what you're thinking and be aware of your body is the greatest indication that that's not you. Apparently, you are the one who is aware. And so when you begin to distinguish that I am not my thoughts and that I am not my body, now you move closer to the truth of who you are as consciousness, as awareness, as the witness. And I put out a short recently, a reel or a short, YouTube short, social media reel, where I talked about what you believe has happened to you has never really happened to you. The circumstances of your life out there have never ever really affected you. Not your true self. If you do believe that I am my mind and I am my body, then there's a belief in a self, in a false self that is not you. And so we have dreamed fearful dreams of something happening to me. And I like to describe the body as like this. What does the body do that mind is not instructed to do? My body won't get up and walk into the next room unless that's my intention. The body is just the vehicle. The body is just your instrument. It's a tool. for mind. It's not who you are. And the mind, if you can be aware of your thoughts, can't be who you are either. But it's a pointer. It's a pointer to your true self. And so when you look at disappointment, when you look at what we have labeled as disappointment, what we have labeled as failure, who is the one labeling that? And who is the you that is affected by that? You are the awareness. You are the witnesser. The truth of who you are is consciousness. You can be conscious of an experience where you are thinking fearful thoughts, or there's a sensation in your body that you label as anxiety, as fear, as hurt, or as pain, but you are simply the one that witnesses. See, what the ego does is the ego creates stories around what is. Everything that you are experiencing just is. Until the mind or the ego adds commentary and chooses a side whether this is a good thing, a good experience, or a bad experience. The true self, the witnesser, consciousness as awareness, is unaffected by the waking dream, by what the mind chooses and how the mind chooses to label an experience. You have never ever suffered. You've only been convinced by the mind of this untruth. And so when you can begin to put that space between what I am experiencing in the 3D as the false self and what I'm observing in the 5D as the true self, all these structures of hurt and pain and what someone did, and they fall away. Nothing has ever been done to you, the true self. Who you are is consciousness. We have just been pointed in the wrong direction. And so we have fallen into the belief, because the truth is the you that you think you are does not exist. His existence is only like that of your sleeping dream. That is why they call it an awakening, because you awaken and go, wait, that never happened. That wasn't real. And so, for the sake of this session, it does come down to, what are you choosing? Are you choosing to identify with the ego, with the mind, with the body, with separation? Or are you choosing soul? Are you choosing the truth of who you are? Because when you begin to choose the truth of who you are, now you begin to hone in on the greatest awareness and expression of love. The greatest awareness and expression of bliss. Fear dissolves. Anxiety dissolves. Separation dissolves. In other words, you recognize there's no me and the other, there is only consciousness expressing itself as me and the other. In other words, in these moments, like just a second ago, in that moment of contemplation, in that moment of accessing consciousness, that is where we are the same. The same consciousness you are is the same consciousness I am. Is the same consciousness that we all are. So, in your moments of contemplation, it is the same moment of contemplation that we all are experiencing. The consciousness and the awareness that is aware of your thoughts, that is aware of your body, is the same consciousness and awareness by which others, or the perceived others, are aware of the body and the mind. In other words, there's only oneness. There's only one consciousness, but with many different expressions. And if you return back to the truth that I am not the body and I'm not the mind, I am just the one who is conscious or awareness of it, then there is only consciousness. There is only awareness. There is only soul. We have been believing the story that the mind has been telling us about who we are. It's just a story. Even the you that you have been identifying with is just a character in the story. The true self is watching the story take place. You are a created character. And I don't care whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your friend. They too are consciousness. The same consciousness that you are, I am that I am, playing their role. You are only ever experiencing you. But wait, James, you don't know what they said to me. You don't know what they did to me. You don't know what you have said to you. You don't know what you have done to you. There is only you. You are consciousness. And so however life is showing up for you, that is how you are showing up for yourself. They're just reflections of the same consciousness that you are. They are your greatest gifts, your greatest teacher. They are consciousness reflecting back to you. What you feel someone is doing to you, you've only ever done to yourself. Or maybe what you feel someone is doing to you. Why are you doing this to yourself? They're just reflecting back to you your mind. What you are experiencing is a visual printout of a belief that your false self holds, because that's the direction you've been pointed in. When you point in the direction of soul and choose soul, which is love, which is bliss, which is peace, and you abide in that state of consciousness, what will be reflected back to you in the many different expressions of consciousness will be exactly that. I choose soul. Having said that, if you want to deepen your spiritual experience, if there is something that was said that resonates with you and you got questions, if you're on YouTube, definitely ask your questions in the comments below. There's also a paid group where you'll get access to me 5 days a week, maybe 5 to 7 days a week. You can come inside a group container, ask your questions live. I send weekly tips. I touch base with things that get us out of our head and into our heart. Meditations. It's a whole experience. Because this spiritual journey and the journey to our true self, the ascension to the 5D, is not for the weak at heart. Look for the link in the description above to hop on a free 15-minute call with me, and know that I love you and I appreciate you.